Hey, it's Shrek. Hey, it's Shrek. Wake up. Come on, let's go to town and get some ass.
Leave me alone, donkey, will ya? I got a pounding headache.
That ain't cool, Shrek. Last night we were drinking and you said we're going to town and get some ass.
No, donkey. I said you're an ass.
Okay, Shrek. What'd you say we just watch comic book geezers instead?
Absolutely, as you should. Welcome to another episode of Comic Book Geezers. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, and my co-host over here, the man of 1,000 voices, Mr. Wild Bill.
Hello, gang, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Geezers. And we're going to do an inside the cover of a classic Avengers issue, number 172, with a classic pose cover, iconic cover of Hawkeye.
That's right, we're continuing on with the Korvac Saga. I believe this is issue number 5 of the Korvac Saga. I've already lost count. I should have checked that before we started recording this episode. I did not. I'm pretty sure
it's one along the way of many to come.
I'm pretty sure we're halfway through. This is number 5. So anyway, as Bill stated, one of the great Hawkeye covers of all time. And of course, this is George Perez and Mr. Austin as well.
So we're looking at 1977 or possibly 1978,
1978. You are absolutely correct. And of course, as Bill has pointed out many times throughout the years, you get the little bubble heads on the side.
Circular head.
Only Marvel did that, right? DC never did that.
I don't remember DC doing it.
No.
I've never seen it on any of my Batman covers, Superman's,
no.
or Flash.
Yep. But, you know, classic, and I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, I think that George Perez was the greatest artist
for the Beast.
Hands down. And quite frankly, he does a terrific Hawkeye. That makes Hawkeye look like a bad motherfucker.
Like a superhero.
Right. Not just an archer.
Yeah.
He looks badass here. And of course we got Vision, Cap, and Ms. Marvel. And I will say, I look here and I wonder if Mr. Austin maybe drew some of the bubbleheads here, because like Beast looks like George Perez. Cap, I'm not quite sure. Ms. Marvel, I think Vision, that looks like a George Perez.
He's got a Vision has a very angry face.
Yes,
the most angriest face I've seen.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah.
Where's the Wasp?
Who cares? She's not here. So yeah. And then of course
she's up here in the very little corner.
She's behind the A in the Avengers somewhere. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit.
I just had to ask.
I'm glad you did.
Comic relief.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad to tell you. Here's Johnny Bench, right? Because Louisville Slugger. So all right. So let's get the actual info. So interestingly enough, as we've talked about throughout this Korvac saga, is that George Perez and Pablo Marcus did all of the art and ink work up until a point, and with this issue, they left the series for a bit. I'm not sure why, mid-Korvac saga, but Jim Shooter, writer, of course, and editor of Marvel at the time, Sal Buscema did the breakdowns, the art, Klaus Janson did the finished art, the inks, Denise Wall lettering, and Phil Rash the coloring. So now all of a sudden we've got George on the cover, but not on the insides anymore. So we've got a new art team working on here. And of course, this is Holocaust in New York Harbor. This is the return of Hawkeye to the Avengers, because he has been out west with the Two-Gun Kid. Because of course, this goes back to when they travel in time to battle Kang, and the Avengers came upon all the old Western heroes from years gone by, right? But he brought
that an issue with like 142.
I don't remember that. I think it was 160 something or whatever.
But there was an issue in the 140s where Thor and those other guys went like back in time and fought some Western characters.
That was with Red Wolf, right? Right, I guess.
142 it was.
Yeah. Well, this was there. They went back again.
And what was that other guy? The Tornado Twister guy? Titty Twister? No.
No,
he was in it. No,
yeah, that was the
142. They went back in time.
Yeah,
half the Avengers were back in time and fought some Western characters.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what wound up happening is that you are absolutely correct, and a Hawkeye decided to stay back in the 1800s, right?
Yeah.
So he eventually came back, but
this is it where he comes back.
He comes back, but he came back with Two-Gun Kid. But then all of a sudden, all these heroes started disappearing left and right. Korvac was obviously behind all that. So he was with Two Gun Kid. Two Gun Kid disappeared just out of thin air. And we've seen some other people disappear too. So Hawkeye's like, I got to get back to Avengers Mansion. We got to find out what's going on. So here he is. Anybody's home. Hawkeye's back. You know,
and nobody's home but he is. He's like, "Where's my welcome?
Where's my welcome?" Yeah, he's totally
Where
shocked.
is everybody?
Yep, exactly. And then, of course, we get the secret agent guy, right, who kind of busts into Avengers Mansion, and he goes, "Oh, I just walk right in. There's no security. I've been coming down to these Avengers for the last couple of weeks, and of course, you know, they got nobody. Oh, they're hoarding all U.S. secrets and things, military stuff like that, and I just walk in. This is not good." So Hawkeye comes in as well, and he's like, you know, what's going on here? So then we cut back to the last scene of the last issue where the Avengers defeated Ultron once again. But of course, Jocasta, who is Ultron's robot bride, she disappeared, right? So here you've got all the Avengers and Ms. Marvel trying to figure out what to do next, right? So here, that kind of finishes, and they all decide they're going to head back to Avengers Mansion. And when they do that, oh, but before we do that, snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. Right, got to do that, right?
With a werewolf.
With a werewolf.
Instead of Dracula.
Great werewolf ad, I might add there, too. So they get back to Avengers Mansion, and there's Hawkeye sitting there making himself something to eat. Wanda is so happy to see him, right?
Oh, Jarvis.
Exactly, yeah.
Something's going on.
Something is definitely going on here. So they're like, so here they were all like, kind of like,
what the hell?
He goes, I can't find Two Gun. He just kind of disappeared into thin air. And then he goes, I caught a red-haired bozo with a briefcase nosing around. He's trusting up at the library. I was going to call the cops, whatever. And they're like, oh, it's Inspector Girich, or Girich, however he says his name. So they go talk to him. And, of course, Hawkeye tied him up. Well, you can't tie up a U.S. agent, right?
Well, he was in Avengers Mansion.
Right, he didn't know. Hawkeye hasn't been around.
But this agent's doing an inspection of, like, we're wasting our government dollars on this Avengers Mansion.
Exactly.
That is not properly held down.
So they go back, and Vision unties him, and Iron Man, who's the chairman of the event, say, I must apologize, Mr. Girick, but you'll have to admit that our security was tight enough to snag you to this time. And he goes, bull, when your security works, it's an accident. I've never seen anything so haphazard. So, of course, he's going to put through his report.
To cut funding.
Yeah, exactly. You cut funding, and you guys are not going to be able to have all the secrets that you have.
No
whatever,
clearance
blah, blah, blah,
anymore. You guys are
no more clearance.
off.
That's it, right? While we're at it, go ride a skateboard if you so choose. Why not? Hey, that's okay. So then we go, and they hear a report that something is going on out at the waterfront. So again, back to the old East River thing again. And they hear Tyrak is attacking the harbor. So Tyrak, of course, is one of those aquatic villains, whatever, like which I think who fought Submariner and whatnot. He's like one of the minions of Tuma or something like that. Anyway, so what they do is they decide to send half of the squad down to the waterfront to find out what's going on with Tyrak. So they send Vision, Wonder Man, Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, and Scarlet Witch down to deal with what's going on there. So here we go. While the rest are trying to figure out what the next plan of attack is to figure out why heroes are disappearing all over the place. And while you're at it, go get some Star Wars figures. And for $3.99 or however much it cost. How much was it back then?
For the booklet?
Free! I don't know. Get muscles like that for free. I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
Just work out.
Just work out, right? So here we go. The fight with Tyrak begins. And he's going at it with Ms. Marvel. And everybody else that's there. Which is kind of cool, right? Vision gets into it. Hawkeye starts shooting him with some stuff, right? So you got some.
Where did Ms. Marvel come from?
She just kind of, a couple issues ago, she just kind of happened to hear kind of something that was going on and figured they needed some help. So, yeah, so he just kind of like, she just kind of fell into the whole storyline.
But Captain Marvel still had his own issue at this point because he stopped at 40 cents.
Well, in actuality, he actually was also in the last issue or the issue before. So you had both Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel in, I think, an issue together for the first time that I can recall.
In the Avengers?
In the Avengers, yeah, exactly. So the
after this issue?
It was the one, I think it was the one before this, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he stopped at 40 cents.
Right. So he was nearing
number 62.
Yeah. So when she first debuted with her solo comic, he was kind of
being phased out.
Being phased out. Yeah, exactly. So
kinda
here,
handing the torch over to her.
Right. So to speak. Yeah, Carol Danvers. Right. So here, the battle at the waterfront with Tyrak, Vision, Wonder Man, Ms. Marvel. Right. So here it's getting pretty crazy. Vision looks like he's out for the count. And then we got of course, stop for a snack, get a little Zagnut
Bar, Zagnut Bar, the only two that really exist.
Yeah.
Never saw the others.
Write a letter while you're at it, too. Right. So, your favorite Pizzazz, right?
Yeah, I had a 12-issue subscription. Threw them all out. They were corny. I should have kept them.
You should have kept them, but yeah, corny as hell, right?
Beyond corny. Based for the mentality of like an 8 to 10-year-old, basically. Right. Yeah. Too cheesy for me. I was 14, but I fell victim to that constant advertisement.
You thought it had to be great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, did they fool me.
Yeah. Well, fool me once, fool me twice, right? So here the fight continues. So this is a pretty good battle issue, actually. So here you have Wonder Man and Ms. Marvel teaming up against Tyrak, and he gets one over on them. But until the Scarlet Witch steps in and throws a couple hexes at him, they finally were able to seduce him.
A couple hexes.
Finally able to subdue him, not seduce him. All right. So there we have that going on. And
thanks to the Scarlet Witch. And then, I think this is great. Do you like this Wonder Man costume?
I hate it.
Shouldn't they have changed his name to Blunder Man?
I don't know. Whatever. Leave his name. But what happened? What was wrong with the old costume?
I don't know.
The red and green thing? I thought that was awesome. And now
he looks like he's just like a casually dressed.
He's ready to go to a club, ready to go out dancing or something. Because
he looks like a rich snob.
Yeah, he's a great character. Like, what the fuck?
He's been dressed down.
Yeah, I never understood it. So then here.
See, may I point? Is this it over here?
Yeah, the red. Yes. And
he looks like a rich snob.
He looks like a rich snob.
I expect to see a Porsche in the background or something.
He flirts with Ms. Marvel throughout this particular issue here. So and then he gets all pissed off too because they don't really know what to do with Tyrak. So he picks him up and he just throws him into the water. He's like, whatever.
And does anything happen with his flirting? Nothing. Like she shoot his ass down.
It continues on a couple issues, right?
But so she's not taking the bait.
Like you'll notice, like right over here, she comes over and she gives him a little kind of like ooh, under the chin type of thing.
Like Gucci Goo.
So he goes, one day I'm gonna get...
She calls him Girly Goo.
Yeah, exactly. So then, he thinks she's like totally flirting with him, and then she leaves and goes, whoa, where are you going, right? But then, like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, then the Vision disappears, right? So again, we've got Two Gun Kid.
I can't see him.
Yeah, exactly, right? He just, out of nowhere, he disappears, and then we cut to the last little...
Some Vision he's turned out.
So here's T'Challa, right? Black Panther, right? Because he's also in New York City.
He doesn't have his cape anymore.
And so, and then we cut to Tony Stark,
Iron Man.
All right, so he gets back with the Avengers. So he gets back, comes back to them with the Yellow Jacket and the Wasp, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Why are all these people disappearing? So then we see why. So then
it's a Korvac
the reveal. Actually, it's not Korvac. Actually, well, it's inadvertently, but you see, you can't tell here. But all right, let's see how smart our viewers are right now. So if you look at this last panel right here. And you see all of these heroes. So you see
all lined up.
Quicksilver, Captain America, Moondragon, Vision, Two Gun Kid, and Jocasta are all lined up in these like holding tubes. And then you have this guy with this brown glove here. And I'll read you exactly what he says. He says, "Oh, come now, Iron Man. How can you not have guessed by now? Not that it would help. Your fate is inevitable, and the next issue, Threshold of the Oblivion." Should I just spell it out for everybody? I mean, so they all look like they're being collected.
I was going to say the Collector.
I will say no more. Yes.
I said it for you.
Right. So, spoiler alert for next issue. The reason why all of these heroes are disappearing is because the Collector is going and capturing them and putting them in these pods, right? So, that's what he does. And can you guess who maybe is pulling the strings for the Collector?
Korvac?
think you were right. So,
Okay.
So yeah. So it's all. So it's funny because when you read some of these issues in the Korvac saga, you're kind of like, well, what does this have to do with Korvac actually? But in the end, once you get to the end, you realize that everything that happens is all because of him. So
Coming together.
it's coming together. So now, of course, in the next issue, they're going to have to figure out how to rescue their fallen comrades who are being held.
But you
prisoner by
won't
the
find
collective.
out because it's a deadline issue, and they give you some other stories.
Actually, no, that was 169, but okay.
I just threw that in there for effect.
I will have a peanut. But yeah.
Throwing a teaser at you, gang.
Yeah.
But you know what to do at this point. Please click the like button if you like this video. We thank you for being here and watch Comic Book Geezers. We thank you for your time. And we thank you for your support and your comments. And if you like comics as much as we do, you come on back and you watch Comic Book Geezers some more. And please tell your friends about us if they don't know about us, because word of mouth is the best advertising.
Yeah.
And share the video with your friends that don't know about us. We thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you next time on Comic Book Geezers. And I have no idea what the hell I'm doing next. But
We'll play it by ear.
Should be okay, I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You'll see more Korvac Saga in the days to come. So stay tuned for more of that. And thanks for watching. For Wild Bill, I am P. Pardo. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you here real soon on Comic Book Users. We may not be drinking as much, but we'll be back. So I'll see you then.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.